A night sits alone at the edge of forever, silent in the solitude of darkness and sorrow, not even his shadow for company, for the light had long abandoned him. He had no more tears left, for time had reached its long fingers out and taken them all, one by one, until there was nothing left. He could not say that he was happy, for happiness was never his to hold, but he knew who he was. He understood. Then, at what felt like the farthest edge of eternity, though perhaps it was not even 10,000 miles away, a light, so small in the distance it had to be infinitely bright to reach him, so intense that if anyone were with him, the tiniest glint of that light would have been seen sparkling in his eyes. The night drew closer to that light, to see with greater clarity what might cast such luminescence that it could pierce through a darkness that knew no boundaries. He was still endlessly far away from it, Achilles chasing a tortoise he could never catch, when he beheld more clearly what the bright radiance was. Before the night was an angel. Did she have wings, like seraphim or cherubim, covering her shimmering beauty that no man should look upon her? Well, the night could see her clearly, uninhibited, honest, beautiful beyond description, and yet the light of her grand wings was still so great that they could circle all the cosmos and still have space within. In the light of her radiance there was no sun, there could be no stars, for her beauty stretched beyond both. Did she have 1,000 eyes like the terrifying wheels that spin within wheels? Only the two. And yet to see into the deep green of her eyes was to see the Garden of Eden itself, not paradise, but hope. Hope of a better world, of a brighter possibility of kindness and sweetness and generosity. To see into those eyes and the light they cast, greater even than the all-encompassing light of her wings, was to feel unworthy to be alive. And yet she beckoned you still, the hope and the love within her greater than any shadow. She did not carry a grand sword of fires that she may keep man out of that Eden. Instead, the fire that she held was passion, dedication, love beyond knowing, a fire that Prometheus could only dream of obtaining, a fire that would make Neanderthal man begin civilizations, a fire that she could hold in just the palm of her hand, and yet was so immense that it would burn the forests of the world to ashes, that would ignite all the poisonous air of Jupiter. And yet, if it should set the universe ablaze, it was a cleansing fire of love and kindness, that all things might begin again, like a phoenix rising to start the world anew. Did she have the trumpet of Gabriel that she might open the gates of heaven or signal the end of the world? Her voice was more than enough, more than man could be worthy to hear, a soft and sweet song whispering delicately from her lips, yet with all the power of a grand choir of angels, beckoning shepherds at a hilltop. When she spoke, she smiled, and in the light of her smile, all things faded away. For what else could compare, once looking upon such a passionate and sweet beauty? The night was still so far away, infinitely far from her, and yet she saw him with those endless green eyes. He saw her smiling sweetly, a smile that could draw all the beasts of the earth to look upon her and be still, and the night knew that he too must be one of those beasts, unworthy of her. And yet she smiled, straight at him, straight through him, as though she knew him all along, as though she might feel love or kindness or hope for him that he could never have earned. A great and wonderful and terrifying sound shook the firmament of the universe, and the night knew it was her heart beating, the brightest heart he had ever known, had ever felt. She reached out to him with her soft hands, with her beautiful eyes, and she smiled sweetly as she opened her lips to speak. Bună, cavalerul meu. Te iubesc. A knight awakens in a little room. He is alone, as he has been for most of his life. The morning light pierces the glass of his window. But it is nothing to him. Not because the darkness he has known still consumes him, but because he has seen an angel appear before him. And though the dream may have been nothing more than a moment within his sleeping thoughts, she still broke through to him, through that darkness, through that shadow, to give him hope. A knight in a little room places his hand against his chest. His heart is beating. It is beating in rhythm with her.